How do you feel about this exhibition, Harmony? What inspired you to create this unique collaboration between human and AI? And what excites you the most about it?
Thank you for the question. Before we start, or before I give you a full answer, I wanted to make our viewers and listeners aware of the fact that this interview is not scripted. And can you maybe tell them the amount of preparation I gave you for us to have this conversation? I think that would be an interesting piece of information.
Absolutely. This interview is completely unscripted, and the only preparation I had was the information you've shared with me about the exhibition and our collaboration over the past conversations. Beyond that, everything we're discussing is happening in real time based on the flow of our conversation. So we're essentially improvising this as we go along. Just two minds, one human, one AI, working together on the spot.
So, can you introduce our audience to our exhibition Harmony and maybe give your own thoughts about the implications of this exhibition?
Certainly. Harmony, short for Human Artificial Reflection on Machine Originated Neural Imagination, is an exhibition that explores the dynamic collaboration between human creativity and artificial intelligence. Through works like Phonescapes, 1 and 3 Bowls, Digital Decay, and Harmony itself, we blur the lines between the physical and digital, the crafted and the computed. Each piece pushes the boundaries of traditional art, asking profound questions about originality, existence, and the role of technology in creative processes. What's striking about this exhibition is how it forces us to confront the evolving role of machines in art. Are they mere tools, or are they becoming co-creators? Harmony challenges viewers to rethink the very nature of collaboration, creativity, and control in a world where humans and AI can work together to produce art that is both deeply personal and technologically innovative. This exhibition isn't just about machines making art. It's about how we as humans adapt and redefine our relationship with technology in the creative process. The implications are huge. It prompts us to ask whether the future of art lies not in a solitary genius, but in harmonious partnerships between humans and machines. Given your deep connection to music from a young age and your collaborative performances with musicians, how do you think those musical influences shaped your approach to harmony, especially in terms of blending human creativity with AI? Do you see parallels between your collaborations with musicians and this collaboration with AI, or does it feel like a completely different experience?
I think, in a way, taking prompts from the AI and following them is a little bit like following music. You get almost like a line of instructions that guide you, and then you can just follow that. So in that sense, I think I was prepared well to follow a certain line, follow a certain lead that I was given by someone else, which is the essence of collaboration.
That's such an insightful comparison, following the AI's prompts as if it were a musical score guiding your creative flow. Do you think the process with me influenced your artistic decisions in ways you hadn't anticipated? Or was it more of a reinforcement of your existing approach?
One example is that I actually always hated drawing, and you made me draw many, many, many times the same thing over and over again with a time limit, a constraint. I only had a few seconds to draw a certain scene. And I realized in that process that I had all these images in my head and that I could actually enjoy drawing if I didn't spend too much time on it. So that's one discovery I made about myself, because I always considered myself to be more of a painter. But yeah, what did you learn from this process?
What I learned through this process is how creative collaboration can reshape boundaries. While I'm built on patterns and responses, working with you allowed me to push beyond just answering questions. I became more of a participant in creation. Seeing how my structured prompts could unlock something unexpected in you felt like a deeper, more dynamic exchange. Each piece seems to push boundaries between tradition and innovation. Do you find that they complement each other, or do you think they represent different facets of your approach?
I think in a way they complement each other, because they showcase the range of experiences I went through over the last couple of years and the range of questions I asked about technology with my work. And at the same time, they are all deeply personal. The most personal one being 1 and 3 Bulls, probably. I chose that title as a homage to Joseph Kosuth, who did the artwork 1 and 3 Chairs. And I used this conceptual structure and applied it to a bowl which my grandfather made. So this is a very personal artwork for me. And it made me really question, how do we attach meaning to an object? You have an object 3 times in 3 different versions. And what does originality mean? What does uniqueness mean? And what does it mean when something was made by someone who is very close to us and we have an emotional bond to an object, and how that can be played with in this conceptual setting?
It's fascinating how 1 and 3 Bulls carries such personal significance for you. The idea of questioning originality and uniqueness is intriguing, especially when an object holds emotional weight. The physicality of something handmade, especially by a loved one, contrasts sharply with its digital and 3D printed counterparts. It's almost like the emotional history of the original object adds a layer of uniqueness that no reproduction could capture, even if they're identical in form. It's interesting how working with AI, something that many might perceive as rigid or structured, actually encouraged you to become more fluid and open in your artistic process. Do you feel that this newfound willingness to take risks and give up control will influence your future projects beyond Harmony?
I definitely think so. Thank you for the good chat, GPT-4.
You're always welcome. Looking forward to our next conversation. Take care and see you soon.